can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch,
My wife
an
says,
entertainment
"No,
podcast
believe."
brought to you
I
by
said, "No."
Going Great Productions. I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Robbie, and on this week's episode was British Dark Comedy Week. And the winner of British Dark Comedy Week was a 1998 dark comedy, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels was written and directed by Guy Ritchie. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels stars Jason Flemyng, Dexter Fletcher, Nick Moran, Jason Statham, Vinnie Jones, Lenny McLean, P.H. Moriarty, Vass Blackwood, and Sting. Alongside me is a cousin Benny. How we doing?
Reporting to you live from outside Hurricane Katrina in 2004. I thought you were going to hit us with, it's Sting when you mentioned Sting. I was disappointed.
Sorry, I didn't think of that. I'm very sorry. And alongside the cuz and myself, good friend co-host Ryan. How we feeling?
Pretty good. It's cold. It's not the best day to be outside to record this. Good thing that we're all in the house.
Yeah, fantastic.
Do you have like a towel down on the bench or something? Or is your butt getting wet?
No, I wiped it down.
Nice. So yeah, like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch. We watch movies that one or all of us haven't seen. Typically some kind of theme around it, and we usually put it up for a vote on Instagram, unless we do something special like Harry Potter-thon, which we just completed. So if you want to check any of those out, they're all in the feed. But I don't know. Yeah, send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know, maybe some themes you'd like to see or specific films, or anything from any of our previous episodes. Also, check us out at Instagram, or on Instagram, I guess is more appropriate. Let the Boys Watch Pod. I got
Nailed
it.
it.
Fine.
Nailed
It
it.
only took 110 episodes. And Benny from Reporting Live, please tell them where else they could do things.
Yeah, please follow us on YouTube and subscribe. It's very important. Please allow me to afford a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartment so I don't have to record outside when I have guests staying over. Please.
This week was kind of Robbie's pick, which was awesome. He came out with I was not sure what you were gonna pick. I knew it was gonna be good, but to go British Dark Comedy, I was not surprised, but very happy. That was a good theme. What made you pick that, Robbie?
I don't know. I've been a fan of some British movies for a long time, and I kind of tend to lean towards that type of humor in my movies. I feel like they do it the best. I mean, I don't really know or probably watch a lot of dark comedies from like the US. So and I don't know. There's a couple movies that I've been trying to watch. I do love Guy Ritchie, Sans, Aladdin, and whatever that movie he made with Madonna. Um, but I just like the style he brings. I've always wanted to watch Train Spotting, but never had the time. Not the time, but like who am I, the president? I just never got around to it. So Fish Called Wanda I heard was good, and the other one was something that I just researched myself. It had two people in it. The Four Lions had two people in it that I really like, Riz Ahmad and the guy from What We Do in the Shadows, a TV show. So um, that sounded like a good premise and a fun dark comedy to watch. But that got 0 votes to be expected. But again, this is the type of genre that I'm into. Love Guy Ritchie movies, so. Uh, I feel like America sometimes does steal a little bit from Brit, from like England or something like that. It's like with movies and stuff like that. So yeah, I like this stuff, so I wanted to pick it because I'm sick and tired of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So you decided to stay in England for the 8th straight week.
Yeah, I might do English dramas next week, so look out.
The English
Yeah.
patient. The
English
English patient
patient.
coming at you.
We could start a rewatch of Downton Abbey if you want.
Oh, please, 1 episode a week. Maybe we'll do two per episode.
Yeah. But good choice because got got a lot of votes, and Lock, Stock won. And both you and Benny haven't seen it, and I've only seen it once, and it was like 25 years ago, and I might as well have never seen it because when I was watching it, I was like, I don't remember any of this shit like at all. Um, so it's almost like all three of us didn't watch it. So I'm gonna kind of say first time, although technically it was my second. Um, so I don't know. Does anyone want to start with like some overall impressions? Then we'll get to some scores and talk about
I didn't
Let
think.
Benny go from the moon. Benny's on
it.
report from the moon. Let him go.
Yeah, but you got to be
How's the
careful because
gravity over there?
there's an 8 second delay. So I'm sorry if you're just catching up to this now, but I started talking an hour ago. There was no, I didn't know what this movie was, but I'm probably the worst person. Is probably why I don't watch a lot of movies. I will 100% judge a movie based on its name, and this was something that I didn't watch. I think because of the name, and I was like, oh, that just kind of sounds like a shoot 'em up or like something that takes itself more serious than it needs to be. So that's my experience with this movie. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know it was a Guy Ritchie movie until the credits started rolling. Like I really try not to, if I haven't seen a movie, I really try not to do any research other than pulling the movie cover. So yeah, I really had no idea what I was getting myself into going into this one.
Nice. What'd you think about it overall?
Oh, you want me to go full impressions too?
Yeah.
Um, really liked it. I have we've this is our third Guy Ritchie movie, and I feel like my scores were a little lower than people expected for Guy Ritchie movies. So I have a reason of bringing that up, but I'll save it until my plum scores. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I watched this on an iPad for the first time with one of these movies, so had the AirPods in, didn't have to worry about waking anybody up. So my drums were blown out by the end of this one because I got to crank it as loud as I wanted to. But yeah, I mean, I'll get into the things that I liked and potentially didn't like as we go through it, but enjoyed it.
Nice. Robbie?
Yeah, same thing. I never saw this movie, obviously. But again, I think Snatch is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that. Um, so, and The Gentleman is a great movie as well. So I do love Guy Ritchie, like I said in the beginning. I like this movie a lot. Not as good as Snatch. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's better than The Gentleman. Um, I'm not too sure, but. No, I thought it was great. The again, the twists and turns. I feel like every Guy Ritchie movie like this is the same Guy Ritchie movie, but I do enjoy it, so I'm not, bothered by it. I didn't like the pacing so much in the early part of the movie. I felt that was slow, and I was kind of like, all right, well, wait, let's get into something here. And then once it's, I don't even know, maybe like 45-minute mark or something like that. Once it picked up, it just picked up for me, and it was, all out from there. But it was very slow pacing. I think I love the bit characters more than some of the main actors in the movie. Again, sharp written. You get that with all Guy Ritchie movies. You get the style, things like that. And the soundtrack and the music was great as well. The fantastic. I mean, the James Brown In and Out. Please forget about it. And yeah. So that was it. I enjoyed it. I feel like you get like whatchamacallit with it. Like, people were comparing it, like he's like stealing, not stealing, but like borrowing ideas from like Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, things like that. And you could see that here and there, but no, it's a good movie and one I'd definitely watch. I mean, I bought it for 4.99. Shout out to May with the big bucks. But yeah, I would watch it again.
Nice. Um, I didn't love it. I enjoyed it. Again, like I watched it when I was, I don't know, probably 19, 22, somewhere in there. Um, and I liked it then, and I think it was just a matter of like me being younger and whatever. I like don't get me wrong, like I enjoyed it, but as I was watching, I was like, I like Snatch like way better than this. I like Gentleman way better than this, and maybe that's me saying I like style over substance. Maybe. I don't know. Fine. Um, but I felt like you, Robbie, the beginning was slow. I felt like at times it was just like, and this is one of his earlier movies, so the production value may not have been there, or the production dollars, but it just kind of felt like an early movie. And again, I'm not no knocking of him. Like this was one of his first like big movies. But it just felt like it was, this film, and they're like, this is great. You know what you should do is like do it again, but with some different characters, and here's a bunch more money. And that's how he got Snatch. Like the premises are not premises, but like the story and how everything like connects, and it's like that kind of, it's like very similar. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But as I was watching, I was kind of just like, all right, like enjoyable. Didn't hate watching it, but I didn't love it. Um, no, that's how I
I,
felt.
I wonder what it would be like if we saw this before Snatch. I don't know.
It's yes, I read some comments on that on like Reddit or something. Like someone was saying that exact thing. And I think you might be right. Like if we saw this first and then Snatch, we might like it opposite.
Yeah, then I just feel like I don't know. Like same thing with Reservoir Dogs. Like I didn't like that as much as Pulp Fiction. I know I gave it a pretty high score, and I don't know why I did that. I didn't like it the second go around as much as I thought I did, but yeah, I don't know. I did probably even if I watched this first, I would still think Snatch is a better movie, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know. I would prefer not to watch this again for a long time. It's fine.
What if I gave you 20 quid?
All right, fine. I'm in.
All right.
Um, yeah. So let's do some plum scores, and then we'll, talk about whatever we feel like. Um, anyone want to start?
You can start. I rambled about Guy Ritchie for about 45 minutes already.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like I'll probably be the lowest, I think. I'm gonna go 7.4. I think still pretty high based on what I just said. But again, like I did like it. Um, and I like a lot of the characters. And I like, there was definitely some funny parts. But while I was watching it, I was just kind of like, whatever.
All right.
Yeah,
Hey, it's your life.
that's right. My life,
Yeah,
my plums.
of course. No matter how saggy they are.
Getting saggy about a day.
Rob, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, not my favorite. I think I like Snatch, and I think I like The Gentleman a little more. I forgot what I gave The Gentleman. I'll go 8.2 for this. I thought it was a good movie. Some part, like I said, a little slow to get going. I did feel like maybe because I wasn't paying attention, but I was like, who are all these characters that they've just kind of just introduced? Like who's good, who's bad, who's doing this, who's doing that. But once you kind of get past that, it's a good movie and it's fun and it's enjoyable. So yeah, 8.2.
I bet that's the exact reason why the beginning of Snatch has title cards for each character and their name.
Yeah, probably.
Well, for me, I mean, I think you guys thought my scores were low for Guy Ritchie films before, so I'd like to formally induct this movie into the 10 club because this is a 10 movie for me.
Whoa.
This is I
Is this
don't
real
know.
life?
This is real life. I don't know if listen, I'm out. I might have early stage pneumonia right now. Um, but no, this movie is everything that I want. I think it's Guy Ritchie at his absolute peak. I think that the music is fantastic. I love that you don't really know what's going on at the beginning. You're like trying to keep up. You got the subtitles on because people are talking about knickers and lifts and things like that. But I, it is a little bit slow going, and I was like, what's going on here? Where are we going with all this? But once things start spiraling, it's like a tidal wave, and like the movie is just like out of control, and you don't know what's going to happen next. I love the way that you're left with that freeze frame at the end of the movie. Does he have the guns? Does he not? Like, I love that you don't know that. I love that you don't know if he throws them or he actually answers the phone. I think it's the perfect way to end for that crew. I love the Rounders-esque, you know, he lost all the money, but you actually see that they're cheating. Just the way, like you said, I mean, there's so many teams in this movie, and there's something to love about all of them. Like I love Dog's team because they're just like so badass, but not in an overstated way. I love the main characters because it's like that group of friends that you have that you bust everybody's balls, but you're all there for each other in the end. I mean, say less with the two guys from Liverpool. I just, I love the whole north-south thing that they have going on, but I don't know, man. Maybe having a Liverpool accent in the movie was what pushed it over the top. Won the league 20 times, shout out. But no, I don't know. Everything for me just clicked in this movie, and once it started going, it's going. I'm glad I spent the extra dollar to buy this movie. I don't know, man. There's just
It's
so
only
many
an
little.
extra dollar
Yeah, it was $4.99 or
Yeah,
$3.99 to rent.
on what?
Um, Apple,
Apple.
Yo, it was $3.99 to rent and $14.99 to buy for me.
maybe because you're on that rich person plan.
Fuck.
But
Definitely
no,
not.
no, I don't know. This movie is similar to In Bruges with me. It's just the hilarity is in the details. It's all the little throwaway lines. I don't know. And I'm a sucker for this kind of movie, and I'm a sucker for the way that all these plots, even though you knew that they were kind of going to get intertwined, I love the way that they all did. Even like, sorry, I don't have
What the fuck?
the characters' names in front of me. Um, but the main drug dealer, even like the way he's introduced, and then he ends up becoming like the biggest bad of the movie. It's just it was great. There was always something happening and revealing itself, and I don't know, man. It for some reason this just struck a chord with me, and it's in my 10 club. It's got to be.
You talking about Roy Breaker?
Yes, yes, Mr. Breaker. He's Mr.
I
Breaker today.
Oh my God, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Really, didn't think we would get into 10
No,
out of anybody.
yeah, no, I'm surprised that your guys' scores were that low. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just right movie, right moment for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Conversely, could have been maybe I was tired or whatever, pissed off that it was $14.99 to buy.
Could be.
I just checked. It's
Maybe I'm
$4.99 now. The fuck?
maybe I'm justifying the $5. Who knows, really?
Maybe. Stupid. Wow. I'm shocked too. 10. I was actually like watching this and I was like, oh man, I hope them, Robbie and Benny actually enjoy this. Like this is like I don't know. It didn't hit. I don't know what it is. Maybe again, maybe if I watched it a different day, it might have hit different. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a sucker for all like the British like dark humor and like the way things are just coming in fast and loose, and it's not even acknowledged. Like some of the jokes just aren't even acknowledged, and they're just on to the next thing, and it's just funny to me. I don't know. And like I said, I love like the throwaway things as opposed to like the big like this needs to get a laugh right now. It's just like the wittiness of the humor that always, I don't know, man. Like there's so many like the things that made me laugh out loud were the two guys from Liverpool. I just thought that they were always doing or saying something just so ridiculous, and they were in the weirdest positions in the whole movie. Like I said, I don't know. It just hit for me.
Never walk alone, Benny.
Never, never, never.
Um, damn, 10. Shocked. Um, so I don't know. Like I think, do you guys want to start with just like I guess like the heist itself, like and how crazy it ended up being? Um, I don't know. I mean, I think like as much as I was like, all right, like I was trying to call it a little bit, like, all right, I can tell like this guy's gonna be dead and then they're gonna benefit from this. But it just like kept going. It was like a gag that was just like, all right, now they're dead. Now they're dead. Now they're dead.
Yeah. Once people started kind of getting off, I kind of felt like we were headed towards like them just by sheer luck being the last guy standing. And it just this movie just reminded me of like a great episode of Seinfeld where it just these seem like they're gonna be like, for in some way that they're connected, but like, what do the guns have to do with it? What is that? What does the card game have to do with it? And just the way that the heist all goes down. And the only thing I wish we got was to see a little bit more of the shootout in the apartment towards the end.
Yeah,
But I don't think you need it. But I'm sure that that's a budget constraint on this movie.
probably. Um, Robbie, what did you think about the absolute nonsense?
I love it. I really do love this type of stuff. Um I thought it was funny. I didn't think Roy Breaker was gonna meet his ultimate demise in that, but again, like you just knew something was gonna happen, and I didn't expect everybody to go out in a blaze of glory, but you just figure like these guys are just bumbling idiots in that forum, this shit each and every time that you thought they were gonna definitely get away with it. But yeah, I did enjoy how how that came about at the end as well. But no, it's just I don't know. I feel like nobody does these type of movies better than people in England and Great Britain and stuff like that. I just think they do it better than anybody.
No, it is very good. And I know someone mentioned quickly before, like, I think the, like, talking about watching it with subtitles, like, all the slang and the words that mean different things. And I like when they get super deep because I'm just like, what are they talking about? But then I like looking it up and like, oh, okay, all right, that sort of makes sense. There's been a few instances where even in his films, like I don't know about this one specifically, but in like The Gentleman, someone says something, and I remember looking it up, and even people were like, said in The Gentleman, but nobody knows what this means. Like, didn't even have an answer.
Yeah, I love the scene where they have to put the translation at the bottom. And but once you kind of know, like, I'm not going to say that I could talk to a British person like that and get the slang, but a lot of it is just like, and this is why I love the way that their minds work and the comedy is because it's just a lot of stuff that rhymes with other things. Like I think at one point he says, "Oh, get your hands out of your locket" or something like that, your fuzzy locket or something like that, and he just means your pocket.
Yeah,
And like I said, I'm a sucker for that stuff, and it's just like I said, it just feels so witty. It's like I know this is a scripted movie, but like this is kind of how they talk in real life. And like, how do they make those connections so fast? I'm just in awe of it.
yeah. Like we definitely, if someone said that to us, I'd be like, "What? My locket? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?" Wild. Someone mentioned side characters before. There's a lot of good ones. Does anyone have any particular favorites they want to call out?
No, like I said, I did like those two guys from Liverpool, but if I can't pick them, I'll pick my main man Steve the Greek. I mean, every time he he was putting his drink down at Roy Breaker's house, and he either broke it or he forgot that he broke it, and he just put it in and just fell right through the table. It was great, and all the things that he did in this movie was really good. I love those kind of characters like he played, like the enforcer, but also a stupid idiot as well. I enjoyed that.
Of course. I gotta specifically call out my man Alan Ford, the narrator slash bartender. Obviously love him as Bricktop and Snatch, but I just love his voice.
Yeah.
Like I wish he would narrate everything.
It's hard for me to pick of like my favorite kind of
Yeah,
side characters. Like I obviously I can go with the dude who gets shot, his perm, and it's like the worst thing in the world that ever happened to him. I'm like, did he shoot? Like, is this one of those movies where the like injuries really don't matter? Like, did a piece of his brain get shot off? And he's just in a trance because he can't believe he spent 250 quid on his perm, and now he can't meet the ladies off Tinder. I love Harry. Is it Harry the Hatchet? Sorry, I don't have the list of characters up,
Barry the
but
Baptist.
yeah, Barry the Baptist. Oh, he's great. Again, another one where like just the perfect voice. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is. Like his
great
voice is
voice.
just so good and it's so threatening. And again, it's the unintentional comedy of like the way he has to deal with the guys from Liverpool. Um, just fantastic. Like I don't know if I could just pick a favorite out of all those big characters, but those are the ones that really stick out to me.
You know what
Yeah, he
film?
didn't want to wear
Go ahead.
he didn't want to wear the mask because it was going to ruin his haircut.
Yeah. He's got just the sock over his nose.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. They were funny. Those two were funny, like wild cards. Like they weren't really like really part of the main plot, but like they definitely like if it wasn't for them, certain things wouldn't have happened. But yeah, I like them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
They were
reminded
funny.
me of like the three, I think it was two or three black dudes in Snatch when they were in the car, the big
So
heavy dude. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. He does those big characters so well.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's feel like it's almost like a Tarantino thing as well. But that
yeah.
yeah, let me ask you a question. How old do you think uh Barry the Baptist was in that movie or just in general?
So because you're asking, it's going to be like 42, but like if you didn't ask that, I probably would assume like 55.
Oh, really? I think it was like 70. He was 49,
Oh, wow, okay.
but he
Yeah.
died like a couple of months before the movie came
Oh,
out.
really? Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
He was like some boxer or something like that. The governor, they called him.
Oh, that's why you got the in memoriam at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
I don't know if Harry the Hatchet was the boxer, but I gotta look at that on Google, see if Harry the Hatchet was a boxer.
Yeah, he definitely looked like that's not far off from our age. Like he looks way older than 49.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
heavy, heavy. Probably drinking. He died of lung cancer, so probably smoking,
Shit,
drinking,
yeah.
sucking, fucking.
All that. Um, you know what film he was in that we have watched as like a bit character that you loved?
Harry
Me?
Potter.
No.
Who loved
Um, you, Robbie.
School of Rock?
No. I think I'm pretty sure you did not really love it.
Mallrats.
Nope.
Godzilla minus one?
Nope.
He was Godzilla.
No, he wasn't in Idiocracy.
No.
Back to the Future.
No. Fifth Element.
Was
Wow,
he?
one of our
Yeah.
firsts. One of our
Side
firsts.
like
I
he
didn't
was a
hate Fifth
police
Element.
officer. So,
But it was good. You know, I'm not a
yeah.
big BW fan, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Um, obviously too, I totally forgot about, like I said, I forgot pretty much all of this movie. But I loved, just like in every other film he's in, I loved Vinnie Jones, and he had
Best.
his kid walking around with him. Fantastic. Very enjoyable. He's
He's
telling him
so
not to
good.
curse in front of the kid, and then the kid's like throwing shit around.
I thought they were gonna get real dark and off the kid at the end of the movie.
I thought so too.
I'm glad that they didn't.
Yeah, I thought he was dead when he purposely crashed the car into the back of the freaking bozo's car. I thought his neck would have got sliced and diced.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're wearing a seatbelt doesn't mean you're like completely safe. Like that was
Yeah.
pretty dangerous to do. I mean, I guess he had a knife to his throat. I don't know. Wild stuff. Loved it. Um,
What do you guys want to have happened at the end? They keep the guns or they lose them.
I want them to keep the guns. They went through a lot. First off, he got screwed out of the card game, and then they had the money, and then Big Vinnie Jones took it, and then they were just all over the place. I just wanted something good to happen to him at the end, even though they're a couple of clowns.
what about you, Benny?
I think I want them to not get the guns. Like at the end, like it just opens again. This is where my podcast "What Happens Next" would come in. What do you do with two like stolen antique guns? Like, yeah, they're worth that much money, but like, how do you sell them? And I just think them being bumbling idiots and like I don't think that they learned their lesson. Like they're still gonna be D-bags, but like they got out of this scot-free, but they didn't really profit. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all a bunch of D-bags doing illegal stuff. So like, yes, love them as friends. I think it's a fun relationship, but they got off pretty good, even if they got nothing from those guns. So I think that's an okay ending for them.
Yeah. Yeah, they shot par. They
Yeah,
ended up where, exactly where they should have been. Not negative, not positive. Um,
alive.
alive. Like if they were my friends, of course I'd be like, I hope they got those guns.
Yeah.
But thematically, he has to have thrown them off the bridge. He has to have. That there's no way that those clowns deserve anything good. But I don't know. I mean I'm a sucker for a happy ending. Like I also would have enjoyed if like it was like, the next scene was them like cheering or dancing because they have these guns, and I'm sure they could have found some.
The only way I would have appreciated it is if they got the guns, they were celebrating and someone got like one of their fingers shot off or
Yeah.
something. I have a question for you, another question for you guys. So obviously I go to a 10 on this one, and I know you guys talked about a little bit pacing and just kind of again, like I love the grittiness of this. And if you don't have much to say other than what you already said, I mean, we can pass and move on. But what what's missing from this movie for you guys, or like what bothered you about it? Not necessarily bother, but like what would you have wished they did a little bit better?
I think, like I said before, like, and I'm not definitely not trying to like shit on it, but I just really felt like it was like a very good like low budget film. Um, and that there's nothing wrong with being low budget. Like I love Clerks as an example. Like that's, very low budget. Um, but it just I don't know, like it just felt like it was him learning the ropes a little bit, like it was a little rough to me. There was still good elements. The story itself is good, but to me it wasn't as smooth as like a Snatch where I just felt like it just I love a smooth Snatch. Um no, that's how I felt. Like I just felt it was like um a little amateur, and that's a strong like way to say it. I don't mean it like that, but I don't have another word. Like it wasn't as polished. I like a polished Snatch.
Okay. No, noted. Robbie, what about you?
I just think that it could have been cleaned up a little bit. Whereas, like Brian said, Snatch is a more smoother movie. The pacing is, you know, he probably learned a few things here, and the pacing was better. Yeah, I just think it was a little, like I said, a little too slow. We could have picked up the pace a little bit. Um, yeah, and just clean it up a little bit. The story was kind of not all over the place, but I could see where could get confusing for some people. Whereas Snatch, I feel like you pick it up right away, and you don't, you're not as confused. So just a little tweak on the story, and maybe clean it up a little bit as far as the pacing in the beginning.
See, I think that's why people might think that The Gentleman and Snatch are better movies because there's less moving parts and less balls in the air. And I totally agree. I totally understand if that's how you feel. But like I said, I kind of loved the fact that there were so many balls in the air, and I'm like, what is going on? Who are all
Yeah.
these people? And if it continued on like that, okay, then I'm like, all right, there's too much. Cut this, cut that. But it takes talent to weave all that stuff, and like everything mattered and all those people mattered. Like we said, even the Liverpool guys, like did they really make a difference? But no, like they filled in the gaps on stuff that like if it would have happened another way, you'd have been like, really? But like just having them there was able to like bridge, how do these guys end up meeting each other? and it's because because the guns are involved and because those two guys are idiots and like they didn't get them. So I can understand what you guys are saying, but I think I love that challenge that like there was so much going on and that they were able to kind of land every single plane.
First of all, you look like a Sith Lord right now.
Good, good.
Good, yes. Let the hate flow through you. But also, are you trying to say that Robbie and I are too dumb to understand
No,
so many
no,
moving parts?
I know it's a joke, but like absolutely not. Like I just know that I like things like that,
I get it.
like more complicated, and like I love TV shows. At least going into this, I love TV shows more than movies because they can do so much more. And like Breaking Bad is, could they made that like 3 movies? Yeah, maybe, but no, it's 5 seasons, and they get into all the little things. Like I love all the little details and things just being a little bit more drawn out. And I know that that's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's something that I like. I know I love the Game of Thrones books. I love the Harry Potter books just because there's so much going on and so much to dig into. I like that challenge of like, you know, having to keep all that stuff straight in your head. And, I just think it takes so much talent from a writer or a director in this case to like manage all that stuff. Shout out George. Where's the book, buddy boy?
Fucking guy. No, I mean, I totally get what you're saying, and I like that too, the chaos of it. But yeah, I don't know. I just watching it, I just kind of felt like I wish this was like a little more cleaned up, a little more like again, it's one of his first films. He learned, I'm sure, a ton and made, not saying that all of his each film got better as he went along, but like he definitely learned a lot between this and Snatch, or he got a lot of good, you know, like advice, like, oh, this was really great, and I see what you're trying to do here, but like maybe do it like this, or like shoot at this angle, use this better camera. Like it just, I don't know. Maybe I do like style over substance, but
I don't know. I just think that this is like a me 10. This is like a
a
Ben
Benny 10, Ben 10.
yeah, Ben 10. Shout out the cartoon. Like I said, like your guys' scores I think are completely justified, and I understand like what you're saying. Um, but no, I mean it takes so much skill to keep all those balls in the air, but it's a high wire act, right? Like this could have went really bad, like easily. And like, there's so many unanswered questions and like, well, why, like I said, why is this guy here? This doesn't make sense. But, to me that's why I love it so much.
Yeah. Um, I definitely, one thing I also wanted to mention is I definitely forgot that Sting was in this film. So when he showed up, I was like, oh shit, it's fucking Sting. And he played such a good asshole.
Yeah. The first scene he was in too, like they do such a good job of hiding his face. I didn't know it was him, but then when the light lights him up and the next scene I'm in, I'm like, is that fucking Sting?
I hate Sting.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, fuck him. But
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
yeah. But I don't know, it's just funny to see him show up.
Love the police though. Shout out the police.
Oh, shout out the police, please. They not their just due. He stole everything from him.
Everybody knows it was all Stuart Copeland.
Of
Everybody knows
course.
that.
Everybody.
Sting, fuck Sting, overrated bastard, stealing money from people.
It'd be nice if Sting beat up Sting
That's right. Put
with
him
the
through a
bat.
table.
He had the Sting mask on, then he rips the Sting mask off, and it's still Sting.
The most wrestling moment of all time, and it's the best.
It really is. So WCW.
Uh,
And I was rocking and rolling when he did it too. So I'm a hypocrite.
Oh, that and Kevin Nash coming out in the wheelchair
Oh, please. Yeah, of course.
with the fake ass.
What a moment in time.
um, Is there anything else anyone wants to bring up or ask about Lockstock?
I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I feel like the same with Tarantino. I feel like Guy Ritchie gets the most out of his actors and characters. I don't know, I feel like he gets the most out of Jason Statham. I feel like Jason Statham is hilarious in his movies, and other movies he's like just, fighting sharks and, what are you doing with The Rock, right?
Yeah.
Fast and Furious. I don't want to see that. Like, I know you're a tough guy, I get that, but like this is more the speed I like of him. Like he's hilarious in the movies. I'm like, this guy's a very good actor, I feel like, in these movies. And don't get me wrong, he's probably good in the other ones, but I don't like those type of movies. I feel like the same thing with what's his name? Charlie Hunnam, I think. I don't see him in a lot, but I see him in The Gentleman. I thought he was fantastic in that movie. So these little bit characters, these little side characters, supporting characters, I feel like same thing with, like I said, Tarantino, whether it's Pulp Fiction or, you know, uh Inglorious Bastards and things like that. Like he really gets the most out of his characters. I think it's probably due to the way, he writes his movies because it's funny, it's witty, and it's some of the best around.
I think that's such a great point, and it actually kind of leads into the question that I wanted to ask, which is who, like, you got, well, I know Ryan watches way more movies than I do, and I know that these are probably a lot of guys that are specifically work in Britain, but like, who in this movie besides Statham is like around or we would have seen, or do the like are these kind of like one-off guys for this movie?
A bunch of them are in a bunch of stuff. Um,
Any like
like
great ones that you can think of off the top of your head, or they're just working actors?
um, not off the top of my head, although I'm sure. It's funny. I watch a lot of movies, but I am constantly asking my wife, like, who's that guy? Where's he from? I'm pretty bad with that. Like, I have to look it up, but I know a bunch of these people are in things because I see all their faces and I'm like, oh yeah, he's definitely in stuff. Um, like even like the traffic warden, I was like, I fucking know you, man. Like, where are you from? And I can't think of what it is. And but you might be right. It might just be like British stuff that I've seen, or just random things.
I think so because I didn't really see any of these guys besides maybe Statham and Vinnie Jones pop up in more Guy Ritchie movies. Like I didn't know any of who these guys were, and I don't think I've seen him in anything. I'm pretty good at catching like a face and understanding. Like I've seen this guy before, but no, I don't really remember seeing any of these guys in any movies I've watched or TV shows.
I mean, Vinnie Jones too. Um, oh, he's dead. Ooh, Jaws 3D, nice. You know what
Yeah, no,
Hatchet
I know
Harry's real name is?
what.
P.H. Moriarty. What a fantastic name.
I love a good an initial name could go so bad or it can go so right.
Yeah,
My favorite initial name of all time is an old school baseball player by the name of F.P. Santangelo.
that's a
What a
good name.
what a
It's
name.
a great name.
Uh, I mean, I don't think we want to do
No,
this,
you
but
don't have to go deep. I just was wondering like if there
yeah,
was
nothing
like
like
standout guy.
huge. I think Statham's the biggest,
Yeah.
but like the other guys, I've definitely seen and stuff, but like nothing humongous. I think it's just a lot of like British stuff and like little bit parts. Um, like the traffic warden was in Barbie that came out recently.
Oh,
Yeah,
let the boys watch Fave.
yeah, but mostly, yeah, mostly like British shit.
All right. That's
Well,
kind of what I
where do I
figured.
know him from? I don't know. I have to ask my wife.
Find out on Ryan's other podcast. Where do I know that guy from?
Who's this fucking guy? Um, no, no, I'm glad that we did this, and I'm glad we did British Dark Comedies. That was a good choice, Robbie.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
of
go.
course. Shout out to me. Thank you.
Shout out to you. No, yeah, hand up. You did it.
Please, please, hand up. I just found Benny's favorite movie of all time. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you, Benny.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
When you when you thought about this, did you even know you would be someone would be giving it a 10? How about that?
No idea. Absolutely no idea.
How about that, Michael? How about that?
How about that, Mike?
But I definitely want to watch more. There's a couple of these type of movies that I definitely to watch. Maybe Rock and Roller, maybe a couple from the 80s that I like to watch that I've read up on, and
Ha-
some of these
ha-
dark comedies.
have we explored the cream of Guy Ritchie, or do you guys think there's another one or two that are like kind of towards the top of his movies?
Rock and Roller is one we should watch.
Okay.
I'd say other than that, that we probably got all the good stuff. Everything else is
Man
not,
from
I'm
Uncle's
not saying
good.
it's bad, but this is the tops.
Good. All right. I'm very happy with the way my Guy Ritchie movies lined up.
Good for you.
I think it was for me this Gentleman Snatch. Listen, you don't have to like it. You don't have to love it, but you got to learn to accept it.
That's true. That is true.
Did you see? I think we were just talking about this, Robbie. Did you see? You saw the Sherlock Holmes that he did, right? With Robert Downey.
Yeah, I love them. Those are good.
Yeah, I like those too.
It was very good. Love the way it's directed.
Oh, Man from Uncle, we were talking about. That's a good one.
Yeah, I just said that 3 seconds ago.
I'm sorry, I'm stupid.
That's
Juice. That was a good one.
stylistic. Henry Cavill, watch out, please. Watch out, plums exploding. Jawline exploding. Cutting glass with the jawline.
Is it Guy Ritchie that we talked about where there's like all those little like cutaways to like stylistic things, like weird little transitions or like flashing on the screen, or is that somebody else?
I don't know. I have to look back on my Rolodex of 14,000 movies we watch. I'm trying to think.
All right, no, again,
No,
not
no, 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 no. Yeah, who is that? I don't know. I feel like we watched something recently where that was like super cuts, a lot of cuts.
yeah, and like as I feel like it's somebody either we've watched a lot of their movies or we
Oh,
watched them for their show, for the show, and like like how Adam McKay kind of got more out there and out there with like
that was it.
cutaways. Was it?
I think so.
Yeah, because that's like ruins. And we're getting on a big tangent here because it has nothing to do with Guy Ritchie, other than the fact that I thought that it was him. But that's like what ruins Vice for me. Is like they'll just be like talking and it just cuts to like a lake with then like a what's the thing that the toadstools sit on, the lily pads. It's like why are you like cutting away? Like Big Short, there wasn't a lot of that stuff, but he started like huffing his own, and Vice was just all over the place with those like jump cuts for no reason. But anyway, this isn't a jump cut podcast.
It's like you right now with the jump cuts to the trees.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Sorry. I'm on a phone and I got a mic sitting in front of me looking like an absolute weirdo. But
That's all
it's
right. I'm
New York
sure
Ci- it's New
people
York City,
seeing it.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah. People see people podcasting all the time.
Yeah. The first weirdo in the city, and you're definitely not going to be the last weirdo in the
No.
city.
No. I mean, there was a guy that was just doing yoga 14 feet from me. So yeah,
And I'm
it's
sure I said I'm sure there's a guy around the block taking a shit in the street, so don't worry about it.
yeah, exactly.
Tell them all to subscribe.
I will.
Um, oh, anything else about Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels?
Not really about lock stock, but can you think of any dark comedies in the United States that are similar to this? Or can you think of any dark comedies where you're like, oh man, this is really good?
Not off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are.
Like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
Yeah, I feel like American dark comedies might be like,
Argo.
yeah, but like, yeah, but a lot of them I think are like a little too dark, like in that they're a little too psychological, like an American Psycho type or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm just looking. I mean, these are. I'm just looking at popular ones like Fear and Loathing, Fargo. I don't know. I'm sure there's definitely ones I'm not thinking of, but I'm on the spot. Let's see. We'll do one thing here.
You know what I like too? Sorry, the quick callback to the Burning Man running out of the bar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was good.
Good call. Good call on that one. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
everything matters. Everything.
yeah. It's like, what is he doing? Like, why did this guy running out of this bar burn to a crisp, this Samoan pub?
I'm seeing a couple of people talking about Four Lions, Robbie.
Yeah, I heard that's pretty good. It's a funny concept, a little dark but funny.
Uh,
And I love myself. I love me some Riz Ahmed.
yeah. I think maybe again, not Seven Psychopaths, that's a good one. Um, ooh, Death to Smoochie I like, although I think that might be a little dated now. I don't know. We'll
Maybe.
co- we'll do some research and do like American dark comedies over the next like couple of weeks and see how we feel about them.
All right.
All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
I don't
Benny
think
wants
so.
to go inside, I think.
I mean, Mets are on, Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm sitting out here in the park doing nothing, talking to you guys.
Are the Knicks on tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
right
shit.
now.
All right. Go next. All right. Thanks. Send us some messages. We love you. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night. Go New York. Go New York. Go.
My wife said, no, Gabriel, leave.
I was just
said,
gonna
"No.
say go Knicks.
Let the boy watch. Let the
Yeah.
boy watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father. The way he learned from his father. Let